Chapter 16, Episode 4, Final. How many times is that? 3? I think that was it. 3 times over the course of less than a week. 3 times I've wanted to disappear into nothingness. 3 times I wish the world would come to an end right then and there. 3 times I wish there was some way I could get away from the absolutely hateful glamour my mother was capable of producing. Somehow, she popped out on the scene right as Sonic Soaring scale without a trace. On the scene? I've been hanging out with the book for far too long. I shrank back against the wall, trying to slap me against. What was Mom doing there anyway? Wasn't she supposed to be home making dinner, like she was when I left? Tango seemed kinda taken aback too. He ran up, curled on my shoulders in fear. Attention sparked in my thought process. Hi? Mom tapped her foot impatiently, glass crackling on her shoe as she did. Her eyes were shut in disappointment with her arms crossed over her chest. As I'm pretty sure she was having trouble deciding which of the main forms of torture she wanted to use in order to make me regret ever having come here in the first place. Lest I forget, she led an entire army during the war. She knows a thing or two about torture, I'm sure. So, she said surprisingly calm. What happened here? I don't know. I hung my head. Some ever attacked out of nowhere. I thought I could take him, but he had backup. Mom, with her eyes still closed, scrunched her face in confusion. Backup? These Mavericks came in late and mauled me. I took a few down, but there were too many for me to handle alone. I see. And what's with the cat? I looked Tango in the eye. He seemed to relax a little. This is who Maddie wanted to show me. His name's Tango. He said support mechanic that the twins developed from me. Tango hissed slightly and swung a paw at my nose. I forgot they didn't like the M word. I light tapped on her nose. If it wasn't for him, things might not have gone well for me. I see. Now, to my next question. Her eyes opened to reveal a harsher glare than she had a moment before. What exactly were you doing here in the first place? I rubbed a finger across my helmet. Well, you see... well, I see what exactly? Great, she's repeating me again. She only did that when she was really mad. I, had to pick some stuff up. Stuff like what exactly? Her finger tapped the inside of her arm repeatedly. And make sure it's good. Tango meowed. I pointed to him. We needed stuff for him. We can't have an ocelot in the house and not have the stuff we need to take care of him. And I'd like to know who told you it was okay for you to taking a cat to begin with. Ocelot. Her foot tapped a little harder. I'll let you know when I need you to correct me. Sorry. That way spoke for a few moments. An awkward silence filled the air. As Mom shifted her weight on her feet. Tango nuzzled himself to my neck, while thoughts about the last minutes ran through my head. Scanning the ground, I picked up a random piece of metal and ran it between my fingers. Where did things go wrong exactly? I didn't think the guy was going to be much of a threat, considering the blatant idiot act he was putting on. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was the fact that the idea that he might have backup never occurred to me. After all, I'm a real archer and didn't have anyone helping her when I beat her. I wasn't used to finding out more than one person at a time, so that could have been it. After all, training can only do so much for you. You can't exactly prepare for a mob of rather genetic-looking Mavericks to intend on tearing to pieces. Maybe it was because of how weak I felt once said Mavericks were all over me. I knew I couldn't handle those things. I knew that those things were nowhere near as big of a threat of their own as Archer or maybe Sorion. Even when they were tearing into me, I felt like I could get back in control at any time and show them what I could do. But something inside of me clicked. Normally, that wouldn't be a bad thing, since I could use it to become a fierce fighter. Not this time, though. For some reason, I felt like I was powerless. Like I was in over my head. Like I had no business fighting Mavericks in the first place. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I should just go back to my room and look like my same thing for the rest of my life. And what exactly would that solve? Mom extended me on my thoughts. I patted my mouth around without my brains constant again. Well, I couldn't exactly answer her. How do you answer a question like that anyway? Mom sighed before physically relaxing. She knelt down next to me and placed a hand on my arm or shoulder. Look, let's just get you two home. We'll figure out what to do after dinner. With that, Mom offered me a hand up, which I took. Tango latched himself onto my shoulders as I rose. Once on my feet, I thumbed the butt on my left ridge, wrist, causing my arm to disappear in a blinding flash. Mom started to exit as I slipped the metal piece in my pocket. I tried to follow her, but my head decided it wanted to pose in pain and dizziness and make me stumble around a bit. I clutched my head to try and fight out the agony. Mom wrapped herself around my shoulders. "Take it easy," Mom said. "You banged your head pretty hard against that wall." "You saw that?" I asked, groaning. "I was watching the whole time." The two of us walked slowly toward the nearest door. Tango hopped off my shoulder to walk alongside the two of us. "If you were watching, then what did you grill me?" Mom smiled. "I wanted to see if you would tell me what you were up to. When did you plan to tell me you bought some shoes?" I would have done a double take, but my head was killing me as it was, and I didn't want to risk Chris causing myself any more agony. "So you don't trust me?" "It's not that, but it would be nice if you kept your word. Trust and reliability are two traits that Maverickers need to do the job properly." "Right. I'll keep that in mind. Why did I ask someone to add a compartment to my armor solely for headache medicine?" "Wait, shoes?" "Oh, the bookie still has my flip-flops," I said as we stepped to a glass sliding door. Mom tightened her grip on my shoulders. "We'll get them later. For now, we just need to get you some headache medicine and to bed." She was right. Why was I worrying about flip-flops to begin with? The priority at this point was figuring out how to get rid of this pounding headache, which I was pretty sure was turning into a migraine. I couldn't eat. There was no way I could even try. The pain in my head, thanks to the pounding I got from saying sorry on his goons, made it impossible for me to even want to try and chew anything. Instead, I ended up taking a dose of migraine medication and laying down on my bed. I rubbed my eyes a little, trying to fight off what remained of the cranial agony I'd suffered. I had the light in my room off so that it wouldn't make things worse. Thankfully, it wasn't completely dark out, so the setting sun still lit my room slightly. I put the metal piece in my pocket and began playing with it again. The thoughts I had when Mom met me at the mall ran through my head again. That feeling of weakness that washed over me from out of nowhere found its way into my mind again. Tango, who Mom allowed to stay in the house with us provided I was the one who took care of him, leaped on the floor into my bed and nestled himself on top of me. Chills ran down at my spine as I thought of what could have happened to me. If it weren't for the little guy that decided to make my stomach his bed, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I scratched the back of his head, earning a few purrs of delight from the ocelot. "Thanks, Tango," I said quietly. I wasn't sure if he'd heard me. He picked up his head and meowed. "I guess he did. I guess I'll eat a few more pieces of fish, don't I?" Another meow. I left slightly as a knock came from my door. "Iris?" Dad's voice came from the other side. As per usual, he opted to respect my privacy by knocking but asserting himself as a parent by entering anyway. "Hey, Dad," I said absently. I was more concerned with making my new friend / pet / support unit more comfortable as he lay on me. "Yamato told me what happened today," he says. He sat himself next to me on my bed. "Everything okay?" I hesitated for a moment before answering. "Not really. I don't know what happened. I thought I could handle what seemed like an idiotic maverick. I charged him, and next thing I knew, I'm surrounded and scared." Tears started to form in my eyes. I hate being scared. Dad could see the way I felt. He knew how much I didn't like being scared. "That's good," he said. I gave him a confused look. "What does that mean?" I asked, wiping the excess moisture from my eyes. "Well, it'd be a bad thing if you weren't scared. Being fearless is more dangerous than having fear." "I still don't get it," I said as I continued to scratch away at the back of Tango's neck. Dad adjusted himself on my bed. "Being fearless can make you sloppy. You can take unnecessary risks that could get you seriously hurt. Or worse. If you're scared, then you'll think about what you're going to do before you actually do it." "I hate being scared." "Who doesn't? But it is necessary in this business." I scoffed. "I bet you weren't scared in the war." He returned a scoff. "No, I wasn't. I was terrified. That caught me off guard. The Great Zero? Terrified? Your mother was a good reason for me to be scared. I constantly worried over her safety and well-being. As much as the worry she placed on her shoulders during the Cyber war, she was constantly under intense pressure to lead an army, as well as create a new source of energy for Reploids." "Yeah," I said. "I guess that would be a lot for one person to take." Dad nodded. As a teenager, no less, I always kept my eye on her, praying nothing serious would happen to her. I hated leaving our base, because it meant that not only could the army be attacked at any time while I was gone, but it also meant that I couldn't make sure your mother was safe. I thought about what he was saying. I couldn't believe that here to the entire world would have been afraid of anything. Then again, he did marry the person who saved the world in ways other than fighting, so I suppose it was exactly out of the question. Dad, who was watching me think, smiled before leaning over and planting a small kiss on my forehead. Feeling better? He asked. Again, I contemplated my current situation. He somehow did make me feel better. I guess I just needed someone to help out things into perspective. It was kind of odd for Dad to tell me that he got scared from everything I'd found out about him, said pretty much otherwise. I nodded. Yeah, thanks. Dad gave me another kiss before getting up. Without another word, he left me in my room to my thoughts. The sun outside had nearly completely set, making it difficult to see anything. Picking Tango up, I got up and made my way to the wall with the light switch on. As soon as I slid my finger across it, my phone began to ring. I fished it out of my pocket and answered without checking who was calling. Hello? Hey. I probably should have looked. That way, that particular green wouldn't have irked me. I believe he went over you called me that, Ibuki, I said, irritation lacing my words. Yeah. You alright? Even though sarcasm, that girl always seemed to be concerned about her friends. Yeah, just a massive headache. It wasn't far from the truth, but I figured she'd soon have got a few cuts from the flying glass that resulted from Soren's first attack. I know. I had to fight one off for the last couple of hours. Did you manage to find Tempo? I rolled my eyes. Tango. Yeah, I found him. He was buried under a bunch of stuff. Tango perked up. It wasn't a complete lie. He was buried after all. That's good. At least you're both alright. Pretty weird how that guy just blew stuff up all of a sudden, wasn't it? I thought about my reply. Not really. The news said the other day that maverick attacks were becoming more and more common. Giga City is kinda large, so it makes sense that they hit us a couple of times. I guess. Things could be weirder, I suppose. How so? I asked as I started to play with a small piece of metal again. I don't know. Your dad could be a hero, I guess. And I kicked down my saliva. She didn't have my house bugged, did she? What do you mean? I tried to hide the nervousness in my voice. I don't know. You could be some kind of interdimensional traveler who ended up in a high school with a psychic, a time traveler, an alien or two, God, and the one guy who managed to keep it all together. Nope, she didn't. I think you've been watching too much TV, chick, I said as I turned the metal between my fingers. My brows furrowed as I noticed a detail on the metal that I hadn't seen before. A small mark was painted on the metal. Maybe. At least we made it out alright. Oh, did you mind get your shoes to you? I asked him so that I could see the mark more clearly. It was a pair of blue letters. A B and an I. I knew what that meant. Yeah. Hey, do you think we could talk later? Something important just came up. I could picture Boogie's face twisting a bit in confusion. Sure. See you later, Iris. She hung up before I could respond. Not that I was going to. Since I hung up, I grabbed Tango rather harshly and raced downstairs. Mom and Dad were in the living room, leaning against each other while watching TV. Hey, I said, joining them both. I need you guys to do me a favor. Mom rolled her eyes. Try asking nicely. I rolled my own. Can you guys do me a favor? What is it? Dad asked. I need to go somewhere in a hurry, I said. I whispered the magic words I thought on my watch. My arm melted over me again. Mom and Dad exchanged confused looks before I climbed off the couch. Where do you need to go? Mom asked. Barcana Industries, I said. Moments later, Tango and I found ourselves just outside the building in question. Looking around, I noticed that the nighttime security detail was pretty sparse. One could sneak into the front gates, do whatever it was they wanted, and get out without much interference. Which was good, because I didn't need someone bothering me while I did what I needed to do. A big miss sound rang in my ears. I brought a hand up to my helmet and dumped a hidden button on the side. Iris, can you hear me? Mom asked over the radio in my helmet. Yeah, I answered. Tango and I made it safely. Good, Dad said. According to the layout, the office you're looking for is on the 50th floor. I looked up, my eyes tracing alongside the building. My eyebrow twitched. Great, I just have to climb 50 floors to get to the CEO's office, I said sarcastically. Good luck, Mom said before cutting out the communication line. I brought my hand up to my forehead as I looked at Tango. So, do you know how I can get up there rather quickly? I asked him, not expecting him to answer. Tango me up before crushing low. I thought he was going to suggest that I jump up, which wouldn't have gotten me near close to where I needed to go. Instead, his legs tucked into his body. His frame, from the neck down, split down the middle and separated, remaining connected to his head through cables. His body hovered over mine with each half above each of my shoulders. The halves covered my shoulders, fitting snugly over my armor. His head set himself over my chest as his entire collar scheme changed to fit my armors. Small jets exposed themselves from underneath Tango's hind legs. Huh, I said as the transformation process came to an end. This is cool. Why didn't you do this earlier? A rather harsh meow sounded out of my head. Clearly, he wasn't too thrilled about me questioning him. I crouched down low, hesitated for a moment, and pushed up against the ground as hard as I could. Just as I reached the peak of my leap, the jets on my back kicked in and propelled me further upward. I smiled as I rose. We didn't move too quickly. The pressure I felt as I flew upward wasn't too overbearing, meaning I could keep an eye on for the alphas I was looking for. It didn't take too long to get to the proper floor. The hard part was figuring out which office I needed to get into. Tango and I circled the building a couple of times before I finally just picked a room with an open window. The lights in the room were off as I landed on the carpeted floor. I tapped Tango on the nose. Go ahead and take off, I said to him. I'll catch up when I'm done. Tango meowed, acknowledging the order. He detached himself from my armor and returned to his normal form. He nuzzled himself against my leg for a second before leaping out the open window. I walked out to the nearest wall and leaned up against it, crossed my arms against. At that point, I could only hope that I picked the right office. A couple minutes later, my hopes were answered. A familiar blonde teenager entered the room, sliding her finger on the light switch as she did. Bricanna was dressed in her white taekwondo uniform with a towel draped over her shoulders, or around her shoulders. One end was held in one hand. She wiped away some sweat from her head. Huh, she actually works hard enough to sweat. Who knew? Well, she said to nobody in particular, that was a good workout. She stopped sullenly in her tracks, taking note of the fact that I was leaned up against her wall. Her eyes narrowed as they scanned my armored form. Evening, Miss Bricanna, I said as coolly as possible. She may not recognize me, but her mere presence still managed to irritate the living daylights out of me. Bricanna maintained a look of irritation for a moment before that smirk that I hate so much found its way across her lips. Well, well, she said as she slowly strode over to the rather large desk in the middle of the room. It would appear that you are aware of who I am. But, you see, I am at a rather disadvantaged position. I raised an eyebrow. Are you now? Why, yes. You see, I stand at the apex of two mysteries. First, who are you? And second, how did you manage to get to my office? I smiled as I pushed myself off against the wall. 1, my name is Zero. 2, I have my ways, but I suggest you close your windows from now on. You never know what could come in. Besides the draft, that is. I see. She sat in the chair behind her desk. I took her around to on the opposite side. Well, I assume that you're here for a reason. Please, enlighten me. Alright. There was a maverick attack at the Giga City shopping arcade earlier this afternoon.